If you're watching this video, you're probably a coach, creator, founder, or service business, and your ideal client isn't reaching out to you, isn't following you, and you feel like nothing's working on social media. At the end of the day, your personal brand is so important, right? And today I'm going to be talking about the 5 real reasons why your personal brand isn't turning attention into real conversations, into real clients. And at glance, it's usually 5 different reasons, right? And you're probably already posting, you're showing up online, you're doing everything in the book, right? Everything that you're seeing online, but it feels like it's not clear, it's not clicking. Or maybe you've tried or you haven't tried and it's not making sense. Point being, I'm gonna go over the 5 different reasons. I got you, all right? Listen, today, the 5 reasons, number 1 is wrong message. Number 2, no core thread, no core truth. Number 3 is unused story. Number 4 is wrong people. And number 5 is no clear next step, right? All 5 connect to the same root problem: unclear foundation, no clarity, no trust, no story, no nothing, right? And today I'm gonna go into depth into one by one. So number 1, right? You're telling people what you do, not what changes them, right? This is something I see on the online space so many times. People just say, oh, I help people get lean. I help people with their mindset. I help people with this. I do this. I'm going to do this, X, Y, and Z. And it's so vague, right? There's a difference between being simplistic, easy to understand, and vague, right? So if you look at my screen, what's unclear is I help people with their personal brand and content strategy. It's simple, but it's vague. What's clear is I help coaches and founders who are already good at what they do finally say it in a way that makes the right people say, I need that. Boom, in that one sentence, you completely understand what I do. Now the same thing is, let's take another example. An unclear would be, I help people get a better mindset. What would be a more clear foundation would be, I help entrepreneurs or 9-to-5ers be able to elevate their mindset so they can finally live the dream life they want. And it's all about the barriers, right? The difference is between the two is that one is super vague, and why would someone choose you for that, right? That you just sound like any other motivational page. Number 2 gives an audience and it gives a reason for people to stay, right? So the same thing right here on my screen. What most people say is, here's what I offer. But what actually changes and what actually makes people buy is, here's what changes for you. You have to constantly be selfless. If you're always saying me, I, nobody cares. But if you always think about the person in mind, think about your ideal client or follower, you will always make the difference for them, right? Number 2 is your content covers too many topics, so no one knows what you're actually about. You don't stand for anything. And if you don't stand for anything, you're gonna be forgettable. Nobody cares, right? Point being is that if you're too scattered and you're talking about everything under the sun, and you're maybe ADHD, that's fine, right? If you're ADHD, but learn to build a strategy, to build a foundation. That's the point, right? What I mean here is being focused, is having one core truth, one core, how would I say? Yeah, one core topic, one core truth that you stand for, and then any other topic can always connect to that. That is your North Star, basically. And that's what makes people remember you. That's what you are known for. That's what a good personal brand does. A personal brand that's always scattered and talk about too many different things and it has no clear message, you're forgettable and nobody cares. So here's an example. A fitness coach posts about workouts on Monday, journaling Wednesday, travel Friday, business tips Sunday, get some likes. Nobody knows what they're selling. Nobody refers them, right? Those pieces of content are good, but if they don't have a clear message or a North Star at any of them, then they're just noise. Nobody likes noise. The same coach, every post connects back to one idea, one topic, or one core truth that you stand for. You don't need a perfect routine, you need a sustainable one. Instantly, if I hear someone or a coach or some kind of creator say the same exact message, but say it differently within their day in their life, within their mentality, within their perspective, it all makes sense, right? Followers know exactly what they're about. Number 3 is you're hiding your story or sharing it in a way that doesn't build trust. See, we all have a story, right? You don't have to be in the trenches or have to have the most saddest story or trauma dump online, right? That's not what it's about. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if you come from money. It doesn't matter if you come from poor. It doesn't matter if you're working hard all your life and all of a sudden you had a revelation. It doesn't matter. Point being, everyone has a story and everyone can always teach a lesson within their brand, right? You either share your story because it doesn't feel impressive enough, or you share because it feels too personal. But that's the thing. That's what builds trust. And that's what a personal brand is. You have to build it around your story so people can trust you. In a day and age where AI is coming up, and in a day and age where so many creators have so many followers, you can be the right choice for someone by simply resonating with them, by simply speaking what's on their mind and becoming their truth and becoming a person that they want for you to help, right? And you may think about, I don't want to sound fake, or my brand doesn't feel like me anymore. That's the point. You have to be willing to be open to your audience, right? Because you got to treat it like your best friend. That's your personal brand. You're speaking to your best friends, right? Here's an example that doesn't land. I struggled for years and then figured it out, and now I help others do the same. It's vague, no texture, and it sounds like every other coach or creator or founder. You don't want to be vague. You want to be specific. Be open. Like I said, you don't have to trauma dump, but still be willing to tell your story and be real. Because people buy into people. And if you're real and you're truly about what you stand for or speak for, then people will believe you, they will trust you, and they will like you. Ability is so big too, right? Here's an example from me. In 2021, I got scammed out of nearly 10K, trying to get a shortcut way to my music business. At the time, I was trying to build a music business, and not trying, but I did. I had a manager, I was making a bit of money, and then this guy came in with an opportunity, and I thought it would be nice. And back then, I was always in the mindset, I have to invest in order to scale, in order to be better, in order to get to the place I want to be. And I still have that mindset. It's never stopped me, but it's also made me realize that trust is so huge. And I realized looking back at that, there was no trust with this guy that I was speaking to. I had no reason to do that. But either way, right? Point being, that was the moment I stopped looking for a faster path and started building the right one, right? And that's why I'm so big on trust, right? Point being, you don't want to diary post, you don't want to overshare, you don't want to feel fake and try to overreact and trauma dump. You want to have a turning point story, a point where it's emotional, but it builds real trust. And it's the reason why you have your core truth, why it's the reason why you have your personal brand. And it could be multiple stories. It doesn't have to only be one, right? But point being, tell your story. It is proof and it is real. Number 4. Your content is attracting the wrong people, so the right ones never show up. It's a huge thing online is that so many people don't understand that what you say, how you present yourself, and the things that come about within your personal brand, all of that counts, right? And it's the difference between if you're attracting the wrong followers / clients or the right ones, right? And what would that look like? Here's an example. A wrong audience is a business coach posts broad motivational content, reposting other people's content, making it themselves look like just an everyday other page, right? There's no face behind it. And people are going to follow, people are going to comment, but there's not going to be any real followers or buyers. So why are you posting on that motivation? You can make it 10% of your content if that's what you want. That's fine. But if you constantly make it, that's what people will expect. So always think every single piece of content needs to have intention behind it. Your aesthetic, your look, what you say, what you do, all of it has to be intentional. Right? Now, the right audience, the same creator, coach, whatever it may be, shifts the content, speaks directly to one specific avatar, one specific person. And the more you do that, the more conversations will come and the more buyers will come. Because people who are coming to your page will immediately think, how do I work with you? Let me know more, right? It's better to have the clear message with the right people. You can have 5K, 10K, doesn't matter, whatever your goal is, right? But as long as it's the right people, right? My goal personally, I want to be able to get to 100K, to 200K, 500K. I want to build an audience for sure, but I also want to have the right people, right? I don't want to be known for something that I'm not. I don't want to be known for something else that doesn't even resonate with me, right? But that's me, it doesn't have to be you. But point being, the opposite would be wide reach and wrong people. Having 1 million followers and not a single person be a real follower or client, right? And that's not what you want. You don't need to think about the numbers. You need to speak to the right people, right? Have the right strategy in place. Attract and be intentional with your aesthetic, how you look and what you say. Number 5, there's no clear next step after your content. This is probably one of the biggest things I see within a lot of personal brands and businesses and founders and creators is that they tracked and they maybe are good at making content, or maybe they have a lot of followers, but they don't have a funnel. They don't have a clear next step. When someone follows, when someone comments, when someone likes, when someone does anything on their page and engages, showing them that they have interest within their page, there is never a clear next step. Of course, some people have a link in bio, have other steps within their funnel, but most of the time it's not clear, right? So here's an example of a no path, a consultant posting great content every single week, but no CTA, no link, no next step, no transitioning a follower or a like or a commenter from their content to their page, to a DM, to a opt-in to your email list, to a freebie, a lead magnet, to a conversation, to a call, all these different things. There's never a next step. Now, clear path is someone who consistently says the same CTA, brings them to the page, have a clear CTA in the bio, have a clear CTA in their landing page, in their lead magnet, in their YouTube, whatever it is, there's always a next step, right? Within your content, within your ads, within your page, within your YouTube, within your Instagram, within your call link, wherever it is, there should always be a next step leading up to being a client. Once they're a client, once the money is in your pocket, there's no next step. They're your client. From there, it's up to you, right? But there should always be a path, right? From content to opt-in to email to client call / book to money, straight up. So that's my point. There should always be a clear path. I'm gonna end the video on this. If one of these 5 reasons hit harder than expected, or at least it resonated with you in any single way, right? And none of these are fixed by posting more, by doing more, by trying to get the best freebies or low ticket offers that give you PDFs with the crazy and best strategy to land more clients. No, it's all about having a clear foundation. If you're unclear and you don't feel like you have a story, I'm telling you, you do. You just need to get clear about it. You just need to be intentional with everything you do, and everything will be better. But if you are struggling with that, I highly recommend you to click the link down below in the caption or within my description. Book a call with me, and I'd love to speak with you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.